Alright, welcome back to Ocarina of Time. It's been a while. I just had my finals week at school and I started a new job, so I've got a lot going on in my life right now and too much to explain. Alright, after after doing the Gerudo's Fortress and freeing all the carpenters, the bridge will be fixed in the Gerudo Valley, but now there are a couple of other side quests to do here, just for some more collectible stuff. Not required, so if you're not interested, you can skip to the next video. This video is not necessary at all. It's just for if you like to 100% the game. So you can come up here to this lady after you get the Gerudo membership card, or Gerudo membership token. And then she says that she has this game ready for you, this archery game, and it's horseback archery. So go ahead and play Epona's song to call Epona. That is if you have her. Go ahead and mount her, and then, well, you gotta get close to her to talk to her, but you talk to her and then she'll compliment your horse, saying that you did a very good job of stealing it. Even though, well, we sort of did, not really, I guess. But she challenges us to a horseback archery game. Now there are two prizes that you can actually win from this one. There's a piece of heart and there's the largest quiver. Now, this is quite difficult, more so for Nintendo 64 players. 3DS players, I think you might find this quite easy because you can just tilt the DS and have a bit more control where you're aiming at. But over here, this is just a game, really. What you want to do is you need to gain 1,000 points, and you can gain an easy 100 points for every jar here that you break. And thankfully, they're stretched to be a little bit taller so that you can hit them easier. Now, I actually did this one my first try. I got 1,000 points my first try, but it took me a while to get 1,500, which is what you need for the second try. So after playing one of these, or maybe before playing one of these, I would recommend you save so that you can just reset your game and then come back here. Sure, you do got to do a little bit of walking, but, you know, such is the price to pay. Now, I was able to do this my first try, thankfully. I was not looking forward to doing it on here because this emulator I use is not very good with aiming, but it wasn't too bad actually. I was very surprised. And that's the piece of heart. And again, what you want to do is go ahead and, well, she says she wants you to show her skill again, and then you should aim for 1,500 points. So go ahead and pay 20 rupees again, and then we're going to do this again. Now, I've cut out a few attempts, so my rupee counter won't make sense, but I was able to get 60 right there from the big target. And then you just want to shoot and break all these jars. Breaking all these jars really isn't too difficult. I guess I've just gotten kind of good at it. So right here, I'm at 950 points, and I'm just rounding the first one now. Now, it is a little bit weird to shoot from this angle, especially from this location, because it's kind of far away and the Nintendo 64 is a bit weird. But there you go, 1,500 points. That is plenty enough. Total of 1,690 points. Perfect. So that is what I need in order to be able to complete this part of the training here. So go ahead and, well, she gives me the biggest quiver in the game, which holds up to 50 arrows. Yes. So I know we've upgraded the slingshot Deku Seed bullet bag, but we've only upgraded the quiver once, and it was by playing the shooting gallery. And you're probably wondering when we were going to upgrade the quiver again, because we are pretty late in the game now and we still haven't done it. Well, we finally did it. Now there actually is one 100% thing that I forgot to get in this video, but I'll just get it in the next video, so don't worry about that. I actually just remembered while I was editing here right now, so a little frustrating, but once you come down here, you talk to her right here. She's just right next to this gated off door. I'm wondering, what is so important in here that needs to be gated off? Well, this is the Gerudo Training Ground, and you pay 10 rupees, and it's not required. It's a mini dungeon where you can test your skills, and then you can just win. I'll just tell you what you win now. You win the ice arrows, and they are not necessary at all, except for 100%ing the game. So you might be wondering, well, for 100%ing the game, what could you possibly need them for? Literally filling up an inventory slot. Now, I will admit, they are the most powerful arrows in the game. Of course, they cost magic. But they are the most powerful in terms of damaging. So they damage enemies the most over any arrow. Now over here there's an eyeball switch above the entrance, or exit I guess, depending on your orientation. And then it just drops a chest right here. These chests aren't important. This one has 5 rupees, or I believe a shield if for some reason you don't have one. And then here there's just 10 arrows, so that's pretty nice. And then once you come through here, also the objective of the Gerudo Training Ground is to complete trials in a room, and then after that trial you may or may not get a key. Some rooms may lead you to another room that gives you like 2 keys or something. It's a bit different, but the idea is that you need 7 keys, and I'll show you how to do that. So in here you have to defeat all the enemies. There are 2 Dinalfos and 1 Beamos, and you have to defeat them before the time runs out. Thankfully though, they give you plenty of time. In one other room though, it's a little bit more stressful, but in this room it's not too hard. Dinalfos and Beamos are pretty easy to fight, so you shouldn't have to worry. Alright, so the Beamos auto drop bombs upon death, and then here is your first small key. Now actually, it kind of depends on what order you do the rooms in. I kind of did it from the opposite order that I usually do, just because I thought I was doing this the wrong way. Alright, and here is the most interesting room. It says Cross the Sea of Fire. Now, in the normal version of Ocarina of Time, this room is like, it's a bliss. It's not that hard. But in Master Quest, this room is, aside from one room in Ganon's Tower, this room is the bane of my existence. Because I died like 6 times trying to just complete this room, and I just couldn't do it. But that's in Master Quest, and this is just the normal game, so no worries here. There are 2 time blocks here, so you can play the Song of Time to reveal them. And then you can climb up here, and there's just a key sitting right there. So there's no chest. And then behind, if you go into the hallway behind me, there's a chest, and I think it just has some rupees in it. I don't know why I didn't bother to check it in this video, but I don't know. I only showed you what you need. Okay, now the gaps between these platforms here, they're a bit far, so that's whenever you gotta go and get your hover boots to cross them. Oh dear. There you go. Cross them here with your hover boots. And the rupee with the fire, I recommend you do not get as the last one because it can kind of mess you up a bit, and I'll kind of explain it. So in order for that fire to be turned off, you need to step on the switch, but of course, this switch is not permanent. The switch is timed. There's no ticker, or at least there's no audible ticker, but there is a ticker. It's just no sound. So you gotta hurry. You gotta book it over here, and then after that, oh boy, you gotta go. And then once you're off that, you can be safe. Oh, and also another thing, you can hook shot or long shot onto these torches, not targets. Well, they act as targets, but these torches, even though it may not show it. Now, I did this once in Dampé's grave after I collected the long shot from the water temple, and then I just did that to get a piece of heart. So it's the safest way to travel through this room is to use the long shot on these torches. So that's what I would do. Unless, okay, I was having some trouble with the emulator here. But there you go. Come across here, and I apologize if you hear the air conditioning. I'm in a really small apartment right now, and there really is no way to hide from it. Alright, come in here and play the Song of Time. I almost said the Song of Storm. That's not right. Play the Song of Time to get rid of, well, I guess just 3 of these time blocks because it doesn't get rid of all of them. I think it's the angle I'm standing at, but it doesn't matter. You only need really to get rid of just 1. I don't even know why they bothered to put time blocks here. Go ahead and put on the Zora tunic and the iron boots because we're going to be under here for a bit. This trial right here, you just have to sink to the bottom. Watch out for the shell blades. I had a little bit of trouble fighting them. I just kept trying to use the long shot and it wouldn't work. Also watch out for that spike trap in the middle as well. It rotates, so just be careful. So take a good look at this. I want to know why my long shot wasn't hitting the weak point on the shell blades here, because I'm clearly shooting them in the mouth. Am I standing too close? I don't. But you got to get close for them to kind of wake up. There you go. I got that one. Now I was really confused while recording this. Be sure to press the R button here when you need to. The R button will be your best friend whenever you encounter shell blades. That's all I'll tell you. Of course, remember to have the Zora tunic on or else you will drown if you're down here for too long. But thankfully, drowning in Ocarina of Time is very different because it's a timer. In most games, it's just like a bar or a gauge that whenever it depletes, you just die. But in this game, it's a timer, and the timer increases depending on how many heart containers you have. I have 18 heart containers, but only 17 of them are filled right now. So, but that's still a whole lot of time. Okay, make sure you stand in the correct position and then use the long shot to pull yourself towards the silver rupees here. And, of course, be careful not to get hit by the spike trap. I was trying to figure out where to stand for these. I haven't memorized these. I mean, come on, guys. I can only do so much in this game. So aim up at this target. Sometimes I've noticed that you will go right through the rupee and you won't collect it. I don't really know how to avoid that. I suppose most of it's just trial and error. I can see another rupee down there I missed. For this one, I would say just swim around up here. This water does, for some reason, go in a whirlpool motion. So you may have to fight against the current a bit. It's a bit difficult, but it's doable. Alright, go ahead and pull out the hook long shot. And I keep wanting to say hook shot even though it's a long shot, but go ahead and grab this last silver rupee, and since I'm on the edge, the spike trap shouldn't hurt me, so I'll be fine. Alright, now I'm going to take off the Zora tunic and the iron boots. And 2 minutes, what was it, 2 minutes 15 seconds? I wasn't paying attention earlier, but that's still quite a long time. Link can hold his breath for an impressive amount of time, in my opinion. I can average maybe like a minute and 10 seconds before I got to get some air. Maybe someday I'll be better, but not today. Here's your small key from this chest, so I'm done in here. This room's pretty mundane in my opinion. I'm not too interested in it. The Gerudo Training Ground I think is kind of seems like an afterthought to me. I mean, I thought it was cool when I first played it as a kid, but it seems kind of like an afterthought. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if it was. I just don't know. But in here there are these totem-looking statues that we saw in the fire temple, and there are also fire temple enemies like fire keys and torch slugs, and a fire-based puzzle. So this is, I'm pretty much in the fire temple, guys. The only difference is that I don't need the Goron tunic to be in here necessarily. So kill all of the enemies, and then there will be a treasure chest right over there, but you'll still see there's still fire in the center of the room, and the doors are locked, so we need to figure out a puzzle. The key said find a secret passage somewhere in this room. So let's start breaking these. Let's start breaking these things. See what we'll find. If we break that one, well, there's nothing there. See if we can break this one. Nothing there. Nothing there either. Now you can use your OCD and break all of them, but you don't have to break all of them. Just a few. So there's an eyeball switch above this one, so you just shoot it with a bow, and then it unlocks the doors. But there's still fire over the chest. Well, that's a little bit puzzling. Break this one here, and then there's a yellow floor switch. And I think this one is temporary too, with no ticking, so be sure to get there quickly. I probably shouldn't have spent time trying to put the hammer away by waiting and pressing the A button, because sometimes I get hurt by that. Well, there's your fourth small key. Good job so far. Alright, now this was the most confusing room for me. Not the fact that you have to blind the eyes of the statue. This one's kind of weird. If you miss an eye, then you have to restart the whole puzzle, or I guess if you take too long, then you have to restart the whole puzzle. Now, I was trying to look for a place to play for Pierre the Scarecrow, because there is a place in here, but you can only play it from the upper floor, even though I tried like 3 times to play it from the bottom floor. Alright, now with this oh so terrible emulator that I'm trying to aim with, play this on a real N64, guys. You'll get the real experience. Alright, shoot the eyeballs, and oh, I'm just barely making these. There you go. It does not matter which order the eyeballs you shoot them in, but another thing you can do is you can just use the hover boots, come onto the central platform, and then just shoot them. It's a bit cheating, but it still lets you. And yes, the proof that this chest being right here, or this chest right here, is proof that the developers meant for you to come over here anyway, so I guess this room just wasn't very well thought out. Alright, now from here, I was really trying to figure out how to get out of here. So I tried to play my Scarecrow song. It did not work. I played it like 3 or 4 different times before I realized, why isn't it working? So the only way to get out is to use the long shot over the doorway from when I came in, because it was seriously at this point where I was thinking, oh man, am I stuck here? There is a long shot target there, but I was worried. I was like, oh, and I almost jumped into the lava there. Don't touch the lava. I don't think this lava is the lava that you can temporarily walk on and get hurt. I think this lava will cause you to void out. like the lava in the Death Mountain crater. Now it was at this point I decided to just go back where I came from. Well, I guess after trying the Scarecrow song one more time. So I just decided to speed this up for you. So I'm just going to go back to where I came from. Back to, well, the beginning entrance of this dungeon. But, well, mini dungeon, I suppose. There's no boss or anything, but... oh my. Glad I sped this up. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter what order you go in. As long as you get 7 keys, you can complete the dungeon. Alright, welcome back to the main area of this game. Now I'm going to go to the left door, because I think that would be the better option. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but oh well, I get to show you. So in here, this is the more stressful room where you have to defeat all the enemies. You have to defeat 2 Stalfos in 1 minute. Now, no stress at all, especially if you're a new player. But surprisingly enough, I've never failed to do this. If you do fail, then you just have the room just resets and you have to try again. So, that's all. And thankfully, whenever you kill them, the timer on the screen is gone, and then you don't have to live in anxiety anymore, because living in anxiety, well, is not fun. There you go, there's my 6th key, and I only need 1 more, so I'm almost done with this place. This is my least favorite room in the entire dungeon, especially in the Master Quest version. I hate this room in the Master Quest, because it's also timed, and, well, actually in the original it's not too bad, but in the Master Quest it's just awful, because some of these rupees are in such an obscure place. And I know I probably should stop talking about the Master Quest, because this is just the original game, but one day you'll see if any of you decide to play it. It is a good challenge, though. I would recommend Master Quest after playing this game. Maybe not right after, though, but sometime. So just do as seen here to collect the rupees, but watch out for the boulders. Oh, and the Wall Master. I didn't kill it, though, but I almost got caught up by it. Watch out for the fire, the boulders, and the Wall Master. I probably should have defeated it, but then again, that would have wasted some of my precious time that I have. I would definitely recommend you defeat it, because there's never any knowing what might happen. I thought I could make it past that boulder, but I didn't. I think I got hit by fire too. Yep. My brain takes such a long time to realize that there's something there. And I get so mad afterwards just because it's such a ridiculous reason to die. And what makes that previous room even worse is that you don't even get a key for it. You just get to progress. And you may see that big, large block back there that it is pushable, but I'm too weak to push it because I need a certain item to be able to push it. And that certain item is not obtained in this dungeon, so you'll have to come back for it. I don't think I will show it off because it's really not even that important, even for 100%, so sorry. You can blow up that door to find out that it has absolutely nothing behind it, but above it there is a secret wall, and I need to turn on the lens of truth. There is a secret wall, and you can use the long shot to get through it. Now it is technically possible to complete this without the lens of truth, but come on, without the lens of truth there's no way you were gonna know that was there. The last key is in this next room here, and it was here to where I was wondering, wait, is this where I play the Scarecrow song for Pierre? So I tried it here and it worked, and I was really disappointed, so that's a shame. There he is. It's a little late now, Pierre. I've already did this room, so I did this kind of backwards. My bad. That's okay. Here is the last key to make up for it. And you can see there's some more chambers behind me in that graded wall that I didn't bother to show off because, well, I don't really care all that much. Sorry. Alright, that is all the keys I need to get the ice arrows, so let's go get them. And again, totally pointless item, not even required any point in the game. It's only required for 100% to fill up an empty space. But I always like getting the ice arrows, even though I rarely use them. I think I've maybe used them like only once. In the Master Quest, they're a bit more helpful, and in Majora's Mask, you use them quite a lot, actually. But that's a whole different game. So I should stop talking about different games and start talking about this game, or continue talking about this game. So anyway, let's go ahead and get the ice arrows. Now, the ice arrows are located just in the room ahead, except, what about all those keys we got? Now it's time to put them to use, so I'm going to put to use the 7 keys I got. Now be very careful, I've also sped this clip up a bit, just so it's a little bit faster here. You want to open the door to the left, and then you just want to follow all subsequent doors after that, because there's no off path you can go. It's just this weird, not a maze, but it's this weird mesh way of putting all the rooms together. Along the way you'll get 50 rupees and, well, I guess 70 rupees, and then 15 arrows in there, so that's pretty nice to have. Just open the doors, there you go, and then finally here we are, the last chest. Now I actually sped that up too because that was a little bit glitched and slow, but there they are. Ice arrows. The only thing this does for me is fill up a slot in the select item subscreen. But for a completionist, that's what I do for you. So that's how you get the ice arrows. Have as much fun with them as you want. I personally won't. Also, it has the cool little animation for equipping them, which I honestly I think it's kind of annoying. I kind of wish it would just equip them without having to, you know, take longer than it should. But whatever. I'm too picky with this game. So now we can leave now. There's nothing else to do in here. So that is it for the Gerudo Training Grounds. Join me in the next video where I will be collecting the mist collectible that I got, and we will be progressing into the heart of the desert. So I will see you then.